Hi everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. This recipe is for creamy potato bacon soup. The amounts that I'm doing today is for just 2 people. So if you need more than that, double or triple the recipe, whatever you need to do to make enough for the amount of people that you are making the soup for. So I'm going to start by frying some bacon, about 5 half strips, or 2 or 3 full strips. I usually end up cutting my bacon in half. I find it fries up easier. So fry that bacon until it's really well done and a little bit crisp, because it will soften up when it's in the soup. And take and crumble that with your fingers so that it's ready to be added when you need it. Next we'll need 2 small to medium sized potatoes. And I'm just using white potatoes today. You can use whatever kind that suits you. So once you have it peeled, you take and slice it and then dice them. And you should end up with about 1.5 cups of diced potatoes. Then you'll take a sweet onion and slice and chop it as well. Take some fresh cilantro or coriander and chop it up. And you'll want to chop it even finer than this, and you'll need about a teaspoon of it. And then you'll need to use about half of a stalk of celery and chop it really finely. And while we're chopping things and getting ready, just take the green onion and chop a little bit off the end of it for decorating later. Then take a little bit of red bell pepper and chop it finely to garnish the top with. Take the frying pan that you fried the bacon in and use the grease from that to fry some of the vegetables with. Drain some of the grease off and use about 1/4 cup of the bacon grease. And add 1/2 cup of chopped celery to that. And then 1/2 cup of the chopped sweet onion. And about 1 clove of finely chopped garlic. And 1 teaspoon of finely chopped cilantro. Cook these in the bacon drippings until the onions are translucent, about 5 minutes or so. In a separate pan, melt butter over a medium heat, about 1 tablespoon of butter. Add about 2 tablespoons of flour and stir constantly. Cook stirring constantly for 1 or 2 minutes. Add 1/2 cup of heavy cream and whisk it in thoroughly. Now I started out with a frying pan, but I'm going to transfer this over to a saucepan where I have a little more room to whisk it without it overflowing. You bring this cream mixture to a boil and you cook it stirring constantly until it thickens. And then add a little bit of salt and pepper at this point, just enough to taste. Then whisk that until it's well combined. Then back to your other frying pan where you're sauteing your onions and such, and add 1.5 cups of diced potatoes to this. Then taking a small spoon, just stir that in until they're well coated. And now add your crumbled bacon bits. Pour enough chicken stock into the potato mixture, about 3 cups or so, but you want enough in there to cover the potatoes. Now add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Now just simmer until the potatoes become tender. This doesn't take very long because the potatoes are diced, they're fairly small, so maybe 15 minutes or so. And then you take the potatoes and you add them to the cream mixture. So this is the final stages of your potato soup coming together. So of course you take a spoon and stir that in until the potatoes are well coated. And I like my soup just like this. Some people like to have it a little bit thicker, and so sometimes you can take some of the potatoes and puree them and add it back to the soup mixture if you like it to be a little bit thicker. Or if you're wanting it to be a little thinner than it is, you can add a little bit more of the chicken broth. So it's up to you what texture you enjoy, but the blend of ingredients in this soup make it really phenomenal. A few options you can add to your potato soup. If you choose, you can add a little bit of ham instead of the bacon. Or you can pre-cook some broccoli and chop it finely and add it. But I like the soup just the way that it is in this recipe, because after all it is potato soup and the potato flavor comes through really nicely in this one. Here I'm just sprinkling it with a little smoked paprika Garnish the top with a little bit of chopped red bell pepper and a little chopped green onion and a little sprig of cilantro, or better known maybe as coriander. So there it is. It looks really appealing, but it's even more appealing to the taste buds. So if you enjoy potatoes, you'll really enjoy this soup. So thanks for watching, and until next time, happy eating.